All right, guys. So, what? I don't know where yours went either. There you go. All right, guys. So for today, section 4.3 is on loan calculations. So we already have two ways to find our monthly payments, right? How do we find monthly payments? The chart or the equation? Good. How do you know whether to use the equation versus looking at the table? When it's not on the table. Good. If you can use the table, though, use it because it's a lot faster. But if you can't use the table, then go to the formula. All right, and then we're going to look at calculating the length of a loan. That would be an instance where you were like, I can only afford like $300 a month, so how long would the loan have to be in order for me to afford that? Okay, so you can kind of work that backwards. So that's what we're working on today. And that other formula is this big one down here at the bottom. So I know some of you were thrown when I gave this to you for the quiz. You're like, I don't know what to do with this formula. We hadn't learned it yet. Okay. Okay, so how is my loan payment used? So this little table I wanted you guys to see so we can kind of look at, so you can understand. Whenever you take out a loan, they will give you a table. It's called an amortization table, where it breaks down every single payment, how it's being used. So if you look, this was for a loan of $100,000, 7.5% interest, and they're doing this loan for 15 years. So it goes through, and they show you month by month. So their monthly payments was $927.01. So for the very first payment they made, only $302 went to the principal, $625 was interest. Isn't that insane? A $900 payment, only $300 went towards paying off the loan. The other went all towards interest. But look, though, as you go on, more and more of it goes towards paying on the loan, and less goes towards interest. Okay, because you owe less and less as time goes on. It's still disturbing, though, right? Most of your payments going just towards interest, because that's how the banks make their money. So if you look up here, it says total interest paid for the whole life of the loan. This was a $100,000 loan. You're going to pay back almost $67,000 in interest. Yeah. So think twice before you get a loan for something, okay? Or if you get a loan for something, if they tell you this is your minimum monthly payment and you can afford to pay more than that, pay more. Because if you pay extra, let's say they paid $1,000 every month instead of $927, that extra, $73 a month that they were paying would go all of that towards principal. So anything extra you pay is strictly on the principal to bring that balance down. Yes? Usually, yes. Every once in a while, no. That's one of the things, when you get a loan, ask if there's the prepayment penalty or prepayment privilege. Remember those vocab words? Most of them, every loan I've ever had, and I've had quite a few, there's been no penalty to pay it off early. So that's where, if you can pay extra, even if it's $50 extra. Every little bit helps take that principal, which is going to make the interest you pay per month be less every month because you're paying down that principal. You don't owe as much. Okay? But that's a little disturbing. I don't think people realize how much of their payments are not actually going towards a loan. All right, so Hannah's taking out a 4.3% loan to purchase an $18,000 car. The length of the loan is 8 years. I'm going to tell you right now, do not take out a car loan for 8 years. Just some personal advice there for you. Why? Is the car going to last you 8 years? It may. Chances are it probably won't. But even if it does, is it worth very much in 8 years? A truck typically will be. Well, you hit a point where it gets so old that sometimes cars become collectors. But most cars, if you buy a Honda Civic 50 years from now, is it a collector? No, that's an old piece of crap at that point. Okay, but it's just one of those things, though, like, if you're taking out a car loan, I'm going to give you my personal advice to not take out more than like a 5.5 year loan at the most, okay? Because your car's not going to be worth it anymore. All right, so how much will she pay in interest? In order to find out how much she pays in interest, what do we have to figure out first? How much she pays monthly. We'll start there. Because if I know how much she pays per month, then I can figure out how much she pays over the life of the loan, and then I can figure out how much of that then is just interest. Okay? So, do I go back to my green paper? Do I have to go with the formula, or can I use the table? I have to go formula. The table does not have 4.3% listed on it. Okay, so we have to go to the formula. So let's start there. Oh, Mrs. McCourt made these notes, and they're going to drive me crazy because she made all these funky backgrounds on them. I was trying to change the color, but I don't know how. There it is. There we go. Haha. I have white. Now go away. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and write up our formula. So my principal, 18,000. My rate, so it'd be 0.043 divided by 12. 1 plus 0.043 divided by 12. 12 times my time is 8 years. All over. You guys love this formula yet? I don't know about you, but I always feel like I'm typing in the same thing a million times because so much of it's repeat. But if you forget that -1 at the bottom, whew, does that change your answer? All right, so let's go ahead and make sure we remember how to type this in. I know we just had the weekend, so we get a little rusty. Bless you. My goodness. All right, almost there. Okay, so what do we get for a monthly payment? Did we get $221.93? Make sure you're rounding to the nearest cent. Do not write 92. That'll change your answer. Now, when we get going to do this next calculation, your calculator is holding all of the digits. Should I use all the digits, or should I use that answer of 221.93? Use this. A couple of you I know had some issues. You were just using what was in your calculator. That's going to change your answer. If this is your monthly payment, not all those decimal digits, that's not how much you're paying every month. Use this actual amount. All right, so this is your monthly payment. So then 221.93. How do I figure out how much you paid over the length of the loan? 12 times 8. I'm going to be lazy, and I'm really just going to write 12 times 8. Right, 12 months, 8 years. So 221.93 times 12 times 8, it is 96, thank you. So over the length of the loan, you're paying $21,305.28. That's your total payments. Right, the question asks, how much interest are you paying? So what do I have to do now? Yeah, just subtract off the $18,000, which is how much you borrowed. So your total payments then, $3,305.28. So that's your interest. That's how much you overpaid from the $18,000 that you borrowed. So all of that is interest. Not as terrible as that last $100,000 loan, right? But still, that's $3,300. That's just you flushing down the toilet, right? It's money just given away. That's why, like, if you can save the money on your own and pay cash for something, that's your best option, because then you're not wasting money. The only downside, though, is you have to wait until you save all that money. You're paid. Well, that's all right. If you can wait, wait. Or if you get lucky, the way I buy, like, furniture and my TVs and things like that is I find something that's 0% interest for so long, and then I just pay it off in that amount of time. Then you don't pay interest. Questions here? This is the interest. Yep. All right, number 2, determine the total interest owed on a 5-year, $10,000 loan at 6% APR. Can I use a table? Joanne says yes, Amanda says no. Amanda, why'd you say no? Yeah, you'd think when you look at it, like, oh yeah, that'll be on the table. Those are nice numbers. Yeah, the table starts at 6.5. I know. All right. let's go back to the formula. So we're borrowing 10,000. What? I know. That's all right. I'll write it out too. What's me being a teacher have to do with? I write it all day long, so see? You're getting a free education. Congratulations. You do. Yeah, but you're not paying tuition like other people do. Yeah, it is a lot less. Okay. So let's figure out what these monthly payments would be. All right, so I got a monthly payment of $193.33. You guys confirm? Type in that many numbers. Sometimes you worry if you type something in wrong. All right, so there's my monthly payment. What's wrong, Joanne? You didn't get yours to work? Okay. So then next step would find out how much is all of your payments combined. So we're going to have to do 193.33 times, it's times 60, but I'm doing 12 times 5. Right, 12 months, 5 years. So 193.33, which is going to give me $11,599.80. So that's my total amount of money I'm going to pay back. So how much of that is interest? Just take that and subtract the 10,000 I originally borrowed. So $1,599.80. Yeah, about $1,600. Flush it down the toilet. Good life lessons, right? If you can save it, save it. That's smart. Save as much as you can. That way when you want to buy something, you have the money sitting there. All right, questions on how to find interest, because then we're going to shift gears into the new formula. Okay. That was finding interest, how much you paid.
What are we planning on this?
So this one, Claude wants to borrow $25,000 to purchase a car. After looking at his monthly budget, he realizes all he can afford to pay per month is $300. So we need to make sure he doesn't pay more than $300 a month. The bank is offering a 5.9% loan. What would the length of the loan need to be so that he can stay within his budget? Okay. Yes, we are solving for T. Now, the beautiful thing is, I gave you a formula. So can you guys use a formula? Although, does this one freak you out a little bit? Ooh, I don't know about, check your copy. I noticed mine is not looking so pretty here. The division bars did not print very nice. So please make sure you put those in. Oh, I totally bypassed that slide, didn't I? So on your formula sheet, these little division bars underneath here, those did not show up very clear. They didn't print well. All right, if you're a scientific person, you're going to need extra parentheses up top and extra parentheses at the bottom. That's all you should need. You should be okay then. All right. Now, so that's an LN. Does anybody look on your calculator? Can you find a button that says LN on it?
No way.
Yes.
If you're on the scientific or the graphing one, it's over here on the side. LN is right there. LN. LN. Guys, LN stands for natural log. Yeah. Let's try and think. I don't think none of you guys, if you were here for Algebra 2 last year, none of the Algebra 2 classes got to the log chapter. So you didn't get to it. But anyway, logs or natural logs, they are used to solve for exponents. And if you look back at your regular formula, where does t fall in this formula? It's an exponent. So to solve for an exponent, that's where you have to use logs or natural logs. Thankfully for us, we just have the formula we just got to plug numbers into. All right, M, the capital M in this formula, that's your monthly payment. P is your principal again, interest rate, number of years, all of that is the same. So same variables. So if we go in here then, let's take a look. So we're going to need to use that formula. So going to that formula, T equals, I have a tendency to make my L's, I make them cursive just so I don't think it's a 1 or something like that. So that's LN, parentheses, monthly payment we want to be $300. So 300 divided by P, principal is 25,000, minus another natural log, 300 divided by 25,000, minus the rate, 0.059 over 12. Again, if you're scientific people, watch those extra parentheses, top and bottom. And then 12 times the natural log, 1 plus my rate, 0.059 over 12. All right, so let's practice. Calculator's going to be a big deal here. What do you notice when you hit the natural log button? It automatically opens a parenthesis for you. So just be careful. Don't throw an extra one in there. It will automatically open one for you. All right, but again, you're going to want to start with a fraction first if you're using the graphing calculators. Natural log, it automatically opens that. 300 over 25,000 minus natural log again. Time is always in years. All right, so take some time. Let's type it in. Make sure we can get the right answers on these calculators. We're using different buttons. Yeah, especially scientific people. Wrapped it up. Yep. So we should get 8.96. So roughly how many years does he need to have? 9 years. He's going to need a 9-year loan. If he had a 10-year loan, what would it do to his payments? It'd make them smaller. Yeah, obviously the longer you drag it out, the less your payments are. But what happens to the amount of interest you pay? That goes up the longer the loan is. Anyone not able to get roughly 9 years? Okay. Number 3, what impact would an increase in the monthly payment of $50 have on the length of the loan? Now, do you really have to go back and type that all in all over again? Just change it. The only thing you need to change, instead of 300, we're going to make it 350. So you just need to go back and then 2 spots, change it to 350. So again, in the graphing ones, if you just go up and highlight it and hit enter, it brings it up where you can alter it. So let's just go back in. You have to change in 2 spots. Good, 7.35. Yeah, typically loans are in whole years or half years, so this one I would probably round to 7.5 years. So he could lessen, if he could pay just an extra $50 a month, you could take it down by about 6 months, or year and a half, sorry. It went from 8 to 7.5. Look at that difference, just in $50 more a month. So how much interest? Would that change your interest? Yeah. Could we figure that out? We could, but we don't have time today because we have shorter classes. Number 4, Jennifer wants to borrow $20,000. Her bank offers a 7.1% interest rate. She can afford $500 per month for loan payments. What should the length of her loan to the nearest tenth of a year? So this one I actually specified to the nearest tenth of a year. All right, but how do you know whether to use that formula? What kind of questions is it going to ask you? It's going to ask for the length of the loan, the time. Yeah, if it's finding time, not this one's monthly payment, this one's time. So let's come back down to this formula. Isn't this fun? Gotta love new formulas. At least I'm not making you solve this algebraically. That could be terrible. No, it's not foreshadowing. I'm not that mean. So no, I will always give you the formulas. So never fear. I won't make you memorize them. Nothing. Can you imagine if I made you memorize all these formulas? I mean, look at me right now. Do I have this formula memorized? Nope. I got the paper in my hand. Only once right now. You're my only financial algebra class this semester. How many times have I done it, though? A lot. But I don't have it memorized. We have so many formulas. I got to use my brain space for something else. All right, guys. Again, practice the calculator, okay? What's wrong? Adulting is hard. Yeah, I hope if nothing else, you guys, after this class, you have an appreciation for like how hard it really can be to be an adult sometimes. The things your parents go through. Help you make better decisions as you become an adult. All right. So I found t equals to the nearest tenth would be 3.8 years. Double check. Let me know if you don't get that. Are we okay? Good? Yes, Max, you with me, hon? So number 5, what effect would a $50 decrease in her monthly payment have on her loan? So if it's a decrease, we're looking at, what would her payments be? $450? All right, so let's make it easy on ourselves. Just go back into it, and let's just change those 2 spots. Change 500 to 450. $450, a $50 decrease. So she dropped her payment by $50. Instead of 3.8 years, it's now 4.3 years. So it changed how long it is. Hi, Devin. Thank you, sir. He should have been here a while ago. All right, and then the second part of that, what about a $50 increase? And air. All right, hold on one sec. All right, everybody else, guys, go ahead and switch it back. If it's a $50 increase, it'd be a $550 payment. So how much would it be? 3.2? What? 3.4? You guys confirm? I didn't actually type it in. All right. So new formula. Hard?
Pretty simple. Still
it's tedious if you type one thing in wrong, right? Extra parentheses somewhere messes the whole thing up. All right, so we're in here until 11. Okay, we still got some time left. questions? I know I went through things, wanted to make sure we got it in. I want to make sure you have time to work.
I have
Good?